Welcome this evening. Maybe you can move a little bit this side or in the front. I won't bite, I promise. Okay. Tonight's topic is tired of being tired. Anyone tired tonight? Yes? Then maybe we can start. Anyone here for the first time tonight? Okay, well, special welcome. My name is Rona, and these Thursday talks are an ongoing activity every Thursday. And can you give me an indication how you find out about this center? So you speak Dutch? Oh, okay. I thought we have 2 people who speak Dutch tonight, or 3. Okay. Okay, well that's good. And you? Okay. Okay. Okay, very good. Well, like I said, we have these talks every Thursday night, and we have also meditation sessions, classes, courses for those who are interested to take it a step further. But most welcome, special welcome. Tonight's topic, tired of being tired. Maybe we could start with a vision. What would be your vision for yourself on this topic of tired, of being tired? Maybe we could start with, how would you want to wake up in the morning? Fresh. Fresh. What else? Feeling energetic. Enthusiastic. Light. Well rested. What else? Joyful. Without regret, without thoughts, I should not have done this, I should not have done that, I should not have done this. Regrets. What about waking up without the sound of the alarm clock? Who here wakes up without alarm clock? Without. Sometimes. Sunday. So that you don't put the alarm clock. So maybe this could be like a vision for yourself, to wake up in the morning without alarm clock, not only on Sunday, every day. Waking up brightly, light, no regrets, enthusiastic, light, enthusiastic to take on the day. What else? Not needing coffee. Excellent. Many have that routine, no? Alarm clock, coffee. What else? Without immediately starting to think.
Thankful for a new day.
Very good. Feelings of gratitude. Thankful for a new day. What else? How would you like to wake up? Anticipation. What else? Liliana? Energized. Anything else?
I love to wake up pre-dawn every night.
Naturally wake up before the sun comes up and enjoy the sunrise. Very good. What else? Wouldn't you like to wake up with feelings of loving your life? Loving life, loving yourself, appreciating your own company, having a sense of fulfillment about things in general. Anything else to add? Okay, so you get the picture. So what is it that keeps us from that? Our habits, our thoughts, our lifestyle. Our habits, our thoughts, our lifestyle. We choose, take decisions and we choose things that actually drain us. So why do we do that? Because it is quicker, it appears quicker in the moment.
We indulge in things that sometimes are not good for us.
We indulge in things that are not so good for us. Indulgence, yeah. Habits, yeah. I was saying habits, thoughts, patterns. Thinking too much. That is thinking too much. Patterns. You know, sometimes it is very good to just take a very radical position, and that is very nice in a spiritual journey and in a process of discovering self. Is if you take a very radical opposite position and then try to work from there. And spiritual knowledge says you are innately a being of peace. You are innately a being of creativity and joy. Your innate nature is of joy and happiness. And if that is the case, why aren't we experiencing that? Same. No? What is your vision and what keeps you from that? And if our innate nature is one of lightness, is one of joy, is one of calm, is one of peace, is one of wisdom, and we are not experiencing that, that means that we are not using our natural resources. That means that we are using our life to learn to be unhappy. That we are using our life to learn to be stressed out. That we are using our life to learn to be tired, tired and fearful. No? And is that good news or is that bad news? It is, on the one hand, it may appear bad news, but on the other hand, it may also be a good news, because it means that I can unlearn and that it is in my hand. Because if I'm longing for joy, if I'm longing for restfulness, if I'm longing for fearlessness, if I'm longing for peace, it means I have a past reference of that. Can you long for something you don't know? So there must be some past reference of that. So that is good. But I'm not directing my choices, my thoughts towards that. And I'm as if almost conditioned in a certain way that leads me away from what deeper inside I'm longing for. Am I making sense? Yeah, but even if you do not have an internal past reference, it will not attract you. So, for example, if you have never seen mango, never tasted mango, you don't know what is mango, and you see someone eating mango, will you say, "Oh, I desperately want mango"? You may say, "Okay, maybe nice, I will try," but you will not long for it or feel pulled towards it. There must be some previous reference to it. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So what this means is that there are certain mental models that we have created for ourselves, which we live by, which might not be useful. Now, what do you do when you are tired? Okay, very good. Coffee. And if I take coffee, what does that do? So this is a mental model. I am tired. Where's my coffee? What does that coffee do? It
very often it makes your mood crash later.
It make your mood
You have benefits in the short term and in the long term.
not in the long term.
The next year or the after.
You know what happens? I'll get mic. One more. Okay. So there are certain, little bit higher I think, there are certain neurotransmitters in the brain that regulate our sense of energy and our sense of feel good. Now, serotonin is one and dopamine is another. And just a very simplified model of what happens. So, if this is your normal baseline of serotonin. You feel energized, you feel happy when there is serotonin in the neurosynapse in the brain. And the body makes it itself. Now, what happens when you take coffee? It goes up. So you feel good. You feel energized. You get a boost. And what happens then? Does it stay high forever? No, it doesn't. It stays for a little while and then it comes down. But it doesn't come down to the same baseline. It comes down a little lower. So without coffee, you feel a little less than when you normally feel. But you know the solution. What is the solution? Another cup of coffee, but the same amount of coffee will not give you this now. The same amount will give you little less. So to get the same, you have to get more caffeine in the blood to get this. So now you need 2 cups to reach there. But 2 cups makes it drop lower. But you know what is the solution? 3 cups. Espresso. You get the trend. No? And so after a while, what happens is when you don't have coffee, you feel miserable and tired and depressed and everything that comes with it. And when you drink 3 espresso, you feel normal. So after a while, you need not just your coffee, you need a piece of cake. And then 2 pieces of cake. And then cake and coffee and television. Does this happen? How do you call this model? Yeah, model of addiction. This is in our hands, but we don't know many times. What else do we do when we are tired? When you're tired, you feel peace. Blackout. No, but this is a very good thing. When you're tired, you sleep. But what do you do if you just slept and you woke up and you're tired? Then you go here. And then what happens at night? Because there's so much caffeine in the blood, you can't sleep. So then what we do? Yeah, you take some pills to fall asleep. You get the trend? What is going on with us? One big area where we can definitely pay more attention to, and our neuroscientists and sleep scientists will tell you this. We are not clear, we are not educated about the importance of sleep and the importance of quality of sleep. And that is why our mental models and our conditioned ideas of life and how we lead life are not taking into consideration sleep and quality of sleep. Because why don't we get enough sleep? much of our tiredness is because we are sleep deprived. And it doesn't mean that if you sleep 14 hours on a Sunday that you're not sleep deprived. No, because you can sleep 14 hours and still be sleep deprived because the quality of those 14 hours is not very high. And it is only on Sunday because all the other days it is 4 or 5 hours. No? So we have created a lifestyle, a mental model with which we live that doesn't include creating time for quality sleep. Now, so the first thing to do, and to take this seriously, if I truly am tired of feeling tired, is to give priority to quality sleep. Now, how do we do that? That is definitely one thing that you can do. Meditate before your sleep. And if you don't know how to meditate, at least take time to reflect and be quiet before you sleep. So what do you need to do for that? Quiet your mind? Who said? Move the television out of your bedroom. Definitely. Move the television. No, I'm not joking actually. We're laughing, but move your television. These days we don't need television anymore, but your iPads and your gadgets. Or at least don't use it 2 hours before you go to sleep. So that is also definitely one thing. Coffee. When should you stop taking coffee if you want to have a good night's sleep? 6 hours before, at least. Yeah. So lunchtime, your last coffee, and not after that. Now, these are simple suggestions that we can all come up with, but it is good to tell. Are you serious about getting quality sleep? These are simple things that we can do. When it is dark, as it is now outside, longer we stay exposed to light, more time it will take to go into a quality sleep and have your bedroom as dark as possible when you go to sleep. It's simple, isn't it? You can do anything you want. We can do anything we want. Just know that there are, you can do television, but there are consequences. But instead of television, reading is definitely much better than television. Go to bed, read, and then don't read some well, if you're not needing sleep, then you can do that. But if you're in need of sleep, then read something that calms you down, that brings you in a good mental frame of mind. Like I said, you can do anything. You are free. Everyone is free. But there are many studies that show that the light that is emitted from the gadgets inhibits the sleep hormones. So go back to the good old-fashioned books. That is another area. What else can we do? Go to bed. Yeah. 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 The studies on sleep and sleep quality show that the best quality of sleep is before midnight. So the more time you sleep before midnight, it is higher quality. It is the biological clock definitely is aligned with what is it? Daylight and night. Definitely, yeah, definitely. So the earlier but also and this studies show this. No, quality of sleep is connected with the hours you sleep before midnight. Do you agree that a lot of our tiredness is because of lack of sleep or lack of quality of sleep? So if we would work on that area, it would solve a lot of issues. Now, what happens with us if we are sleep deprived? You can think clearly, yeah. Quality of choices diminishes. Quality of decisions diminishes. Quality of concentration diminishes. You're more irritable. Also, your bodily functions are not the same as when you are rested. Now, even a prolonged sleep deprivation delays wound healing, for example. Skin doesn't restore as easy and as quickly as it does when you are in a good rested state. So there are many things that are influenced when we are sleep deprived. Our creativity is less. Our innovative thinking is less when we are sleep deprived. Our stress levels are easily boosted when we are sleep deprived. Now, why is it that we don't pay or give attention or give priority to sleep? One thing maybe we are not educated about it enough, or there has not been enough importance stressed by our upbringing maybe on it. But why in general do we have we created a society where we don't give importance to proper sleep? Mm-hmm. 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 Very good. Yeah. Yeah, we are somehow we have this mental model that by doing things, value of our life is more, and our value is more. No, somehow we have moved into a culture where we think to do things, achieving things, will make me happy. Doing things, achieving things will make me more valuable, more important, makes me someone. And we have moved away from the other positioning is that you are valuable, period. That you are innately a being of peace, that you are innately a being of joy. You understand? So we have become so result-oriented, and we have become so addicted to doing and achieving to feel that we are someone, or that we are productive, or that we are important, that we are valuable. So our sense of self-respect, our sense of who we are, our sense of value is based on what we do, on what we know, on what we can accumulate, on what we can achieve. Now you sleep. In that conditioned mindset, sleeping is wasting time. Subconsciously, that is the feeling we get. Sleeping means wasting time. Sleeping means wasting life. Yeah, I'm not producing, I'm not achieving, so it is something I must do, but I better as least as possible. When I can't do anything else, okay, then I will sleep. Understand? And this is a belief system that comes from a deeper conditioning about who we truly are, and what I truly am, and what life truly is about. So we have become so result-oriented and attainment-oriented and producing-oriented for our sense of value, for our sense of dignity, and for our sense of self-respect. And so we keep doing and keep doing and keep doing as much as possible. And so what is the time that will will suffer because of that? Our sleeping time and our resting time. Understand this thinking? So this is where, what in the beginning, we also mentioned that there is the model that when I'm born, and when I'm born at this moment in time, I am nothing, and I am no one. And during my life, if I want to be happy, if I want to be loved, if I want to be peaceful, I have to get things. I have to accumulate things. I have to do things to be someone. And then if I get those things, and if I accumulate those things, and if I do all those things, what can happen? You need more. Huh? Yeah. You need more. And you need more. And then you can lose it. So you need even more. So that if you lose it, you can at least have something in case you lose it. So we get anxious and stressed and fearful. And so we need to do even more and achieve even more. And in the process get tired. I'm simplifying it so that we can kind of grasp the dynamics. Now, a spiritual model says you're a spiritual being and as a spiritual being you are a source of peace, a source of wisdom, a being that loves freedom, a being that is innocent and playful, joyful, naturally, has an infinite amount of creative potential. This is what you are forever. And this being takes birth at a certain time in a body. But this is what you are. And even if the body is baby, this is what you are. And so going through life, what will be, in this case, the purpose of life? Now, in this case, the purpose of life is getting, achieving, accumulating. In this case, what will be the purpose of life? To have fun. To have fun. That is definitely could be a good purpose. To just enjoy yourself. Expressing your qualities. What else? Yeah, be happy. And express the potential that is in there. But you don't need anything to be who you already are. A beautiful, we need to be awake to it. We need to be aware of it. Of course, there can be things that you accumulate there, there can be things that you do, there will be. But you don't depend on those to feel that you are important. You don't depend on those to feel happy. You don't depend on those things to feel peaceful. So in this mode, it will be very easy to say, okay, tomorrow is another day. Whatever didn't get done today, we will do tomorrow. No problem. The power to stop will be easy. Because you do not live to accumulate. You do not live to work. You do not live to achieve. You already are. Yeah. So we can ask ourselves, this is very interesting, not tired of being tired. You have to ask yourself the question, am I a lion or am I a sheep? What is the difference between a lion and a sheep? Huh? I don't know if you have seen sheep. They are very good in the herd. They are very obedient. Wherever the herd goes, they go. Now I've seen a herd and sheep and what is the other one? Goat. Goat in some of the Caribbean islands, goats live in the wild. No? So in little groups in the wild, and then they come across a road, and the cars go by, so they can't really cross. But if one goes across, the whole bunch goes. Whether cars come or not come, cars hit them, they go. This is herd mentality. If one goes in the slaughterhouse, all the others go behind. Herd mentality. The lion or lioness is not like that. Lion can live in a group, but can also find its own way. If the group is little bit, if it doesn't agree with the group, it follows his own way. And when the group gets itself, he joins again, no problem. That depends on your own mental model. What is your mental model? And I do not fully agree. When I was still, how to say, I was practicing medicine. This was some long time ago in Holland. I was in the mental health sector. And there was the clinic that I worked in. There was a little bit this culture of conforming to the work culture. And you had to be a certain way, and you had to work in a certain way, and you had to work certain hours, and you had to behave in a certain way, and Friday night you have to go out with everyone and drink alcohol, and the certain pattern. And I had already started my meditation practice, so I didn't fit in with that. So in the beginning they think you are a bit in the beginning they think you are weird. In the beginning they think you are a bit, what is the word? You're a bit strange, antisocial, yeah, that is the word they use. So one of the practices I used to have, we would have an hour lunch, and half an hour would be for me. So they would all go lunch together. And I would go with them, but only for 30 minutes, and then I would take my own time to meditate or to do whatever I wanted to do. So that was already strange. Friday night I would not go with them. And so in the beginning, the first 3 months were a bit funny. And I would also not make it a habit to work late. If there really is an emergency, no problem. But if there's no reason, finish is finish. And so, 3 months you have to tolerate these funny comments behind your back, and this shoo shoo shoo, and these weird looks that people give you. But then they start seeing the way you function. Then they start noticing the way you operate. And there was night shifts and weekend shift. It was emergency outreach. And even when I was not on duty, they would call me. Because they wanted to work with someone who was calm, level-headed. One of the psychiatric nurses there would even tell me, if I go with you, I know the situation will be, how do you say, pressure comes down. So they would call me even though I'm not on duty. So what I'm trying to say, initially it may appear that you're out of, what is the word? Out of what is normal. It also depends on what you mean with normal. If you are rested, if you are clear, if you are aligned with what is natural to you, what is the problem? Doesn't mean your achievements are less. It doesn't mean your work is less. Hmm? So any comments or questions? Are you a sheep or a lion? Mm-hmm.
I always think about, because your last, whatever you just said, it completely knows what it is in terms of feeling by if you're happy with yourself and being in alignment with who you are. But I always think about the people that are seen as outcasts, which are the homeless, whether they're on the train or on the street. Do they just follow their own way of living, and do they believe that they're being true? However they survive, whether it's by shelters, by asking for money, or having their own way of living, which might be several parts and that. So, but I really want to know, do they really believe that they're?
I can't speak for them, I can speak for myself. And that is where the emphasis is most easy to put. No, what other people, they make their choices, and sometimes I don't think they make choices. They just, but this topic is for me. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, of course, there is nothing wrong with hard work. There's nothing wrong with hard work. But lack of vision and lack of sense of purpose makes you work hard for what? Hmm? So there is no virtue in poverty. There is no virtue in poverty or a purposeless life. There is no virtue in that. I'm not trying to advocate that. But there is also, we should ask ourselves, what is the purpose in a life where work is horses? And without any vision for that either. No, two of my friends were sharing day before yesterday. They one of them does household work and she babysits, and the other one only babysits. And they were describing the penthouses where they do their work. No. And they were also describing the owners of the penthouses, how hard they work and they work and they work and they work. And one of them was saying, I enjoy the house. They only come home to sleep, that's all. And they go, they're enjoying the house. So, again, I'm not saying to work is wrong or to work hard is wrong, but, we work hard to own something that we cannot even enjoy. What is the purpose of that? We work hard and to have money to pay the money to be with my children. And I don't have time to be with my child. But both of them share that those children, the first time they walk was with them. The first time they talk was with them. When they use the word mama, they say it for the mommy. You know, isn't it a little bit upside down? So these kind of things, and then tiredness is a symptom that something deeper needs to be, what is it? Yeah. Set, yeah, in balance. And this is the mentality that makes us not give value to rest and sleep, and not only rest and sleep, but also things like hobbies and things like our interests outside of work and our daily commitments. We don't give, and it can be exercise, it can be some other hobby, some creative hobby. How many of us have time for that? And then our life passes working hard for a house where I only sleep. I'm exaggerating maybe. Or maybe not too much, but but let me explicitly be clear, there's nothing wrong with working. And there's nothing wrong with achieving certain things, but we have become so fixed on achieving that we're not enjoying the process. That we're not enjoying our everyday life whilst trying to get something that we want to have. Now, so if all the time we are just only thinking about having something, and we can only be happy and be peaceful when we have that, then what happens when all the time when we are just going about our daily lives trying to get there? Now, growing up, we used to swim, and competitive swimming, but also, how do you call this, water polo competition, but also swimming. And one of the competitive groups, I don't know how to call it, the club, another club, there was one boy who was a natural talent at swimming. And I remember he used to love swimming. He used to be better at swimming than walking. You know, you can say. But he used to love swimming. But he was fast. He was good. He had so much talent. But he loved swimming. And after many years, he won the Olympic medal, butterfly, 100 meters. He set some records. And of course, he was the hero in the little country that we grew up in Suriname. And so when he came from the Olympic Games, and they asked him, how did you do that? You know, what does it take to achieve this medal? He said, I love swimming. You know, if he would only be able to be happy when he has the golden medal, then his life would have been miserable, no? Because to get it, even though he was talented or even though he was fast, it requires a lot of training. But he loved swimming. So this is also what I'm trying to say. we have become so conditioned to achieve that we think we can only be peaceful, we can only be happy when we get. And in the meantime, our life goes by. And that is that first model. The second model, we are having fun. And if we achieve, that's nice. If we don't, that's also nice. You can still enjoy swimming even though you don't get the golden medal in the Olympic Games. No? Swimming is still nice. Mhm. But that is also part of this. And there's nothing wrong with achieving. But what do you do with yourself in your life in between the achievements? If the achievement is the goal. And then it is as if only that is important and nothing else is not important. And so sleep is definitely not important. Because you can't achieve anything in that sense. But physiology says if you do sleep, you're smarter. If you sleep, but if you have quality of sleep, you can enjoy better anything, not only the achievement. So how important isn't it to properly rest? Now many times when people start meditating, they fall asleep. Even experienced meditators. Why? Because we still sometimes trapped in this thing and do not sleep properly. Sleep deprived, rest deprived. But also part of rest is balancing activities. Because the other thing is we value certain activities and we not value other activities. Who here likes to do the dishes? Very good. or laundry and ironing. A friend of mine says doing the dishes is playing with water and dishes. So when the dishes get clean, they smile at me, he says. This is the second positioning, and you're having fun. But whatever the activity is that is in front of you. Now, who has better quality of life? One who can have fun with whatever the activity is that is in front of them, or the other one who only can be happy when he gets the gold medal? Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Someone once said in some lecture setting, management consultant, and he was talking about stress management, and he said, if you don't do what you love, then love what you do. And this is where the example of washing the dishes was all about. You don't like washing the dishes. Learn to love it by approaching it with a different perspective. And that definitely can be very useful with work, because many people do not necessarily like what they do in terms of work. No? But there are always things that we could shift around if we change our perspective and find ways to entertain yourself. Yeah. Because it is not always possible to just quit. Or not yet, maybe, or whatever. But still, it is 8 hours of your day. So find creative ways to bring out your inner beauty and not depend on the situation to feel valuable or to feel joy. Washing the dishes or playing with water, and then the plates are smiling at me. I think this is a very nice image, and it is a good way to approach it, because you will do it anyway, so why not play with the water and smile at the dishes? It may not be your style, that simplistic, but everyone can have their own way. So what will you take away from tonight? Okay, good. So you're valuing sleep more. Very good. So what will you practically do? Which one? Yeah. Yeah. Cultivate the power to stop. Have more fun. Have more fun. Yeah. Yeah. But maybe one thing, and this is of course where meditation comes in and a more spiritual practice, is reflect on a deeper purpose of life. Now, one model that we play with often in Raj Yoga is the inner being or the soul is a traveler. So this is a journey. And we come with a lot of inner resources and we're playing a game. And to play more with that attitude. And reflect, take time to reflect on those things. So internally shift your attitude and your approach. And there's nothing wrong with sleeping. Quality sleep. It's like taking care of the body. There are theories in physiology and neurophysiology that all over the body there are lymph nodes, and the lymphatic system is like the drainage system, the detox system. But your brain doesn't have lymph nodes. And so the theory is, and they have observed this, it is just not endorsed by all the neuroscientists yet, but only during sleep does the detoxification of the brain take place, and during quality of sleep. So that is why if you're not having enough sleep, your judgment is clouded, your concentration power is less, because there is not enough. I'm simplifying the words, but the detoxification of the brain hasn't properly taken place. So if you are not enough sleep, it's not sleeping enough, that also is what is happening. So it is not just the luxury to sleep. It is also a necessity to sleep. But also, really to truly to love yourself, or appreciate self, and play the game of life. Don't get into this coffee and or your gadgets. That is also where we need to say, stop. No more. It's much better to take a book than to lie in your bed looking at your phone. Okay. Any final thoughts? So shall we close with some minutes of meditation? So just for a few moments, we make time to reflect, and we as if take it to a question that is a little bit deeper. What is life actually all about? Are we here to just be tired all the time and in the survival mode and dragging ourselves from one day into the next, into the next? Are we living lives just because that's what we believe and everybody does? Are we sheep? Or is there another option? The spiritual option is to acknowledge, to experiment, and to experience again. The self as a spiritual being. A being of consciousness, a being of peace. a being of truth and beauty. A being with divine potential. A being that is a traveler, invisible like a tiny star in the center of the forehead, behind the eyes. A living, timeless, pure, free being of light. And this body is our precious instrument to play the game of life. To understand the secrets and the dynamics. And to have fun. To learn, to grow, to explore, to be adventurous, to express creativity. But to know always that we are timeless, peaceful, benevolent beings of light. And as we continue on the journey, we aim to play the game as lions, not as sheep. Om Shanti. So maybe as a gift for yourself,